Today on Community Cooking, we have local chef Walter Rowin here with an incredible menu. We're making a local favorite called 21 Clove Garlic Chicken, and it's served with mashed potatoes, butternut squash, broccolini, all over a lemon butter sauce. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and get comfortable. We have another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm your host, Maria Prekeges, and I am super excited to have the executive chef at the Torrance Marriott with us, Mr. Walter Rowin. I thought I'd, make you sound super fancy.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be here. It's nice to be made to sound fancy.
Well, anyone who is an executive chef at a hotel gets my 2 thumbs up. You have, you know your stuff.
I've been around.
You've been around. We will get to that in a minute. I want to hear all about your experience.
Don't tell my fiancé that.
Yeah, we will. So we're making today some chicken that you have marinating and lots of great stuff. So I'm Greek and I love garlic, but
Yep.
21 cloves?
21 cloves, yeah. It's definitely for the garlic lovers, but it's, so, I don't know many people that don't like garlic, to be honest with you, so it's kind of you can't really lose when you go overboard with it.
I love it. And we're going to serve it with some broccolini, butternut squash, and mashed potatoes. So quickly, let's go over the ingredients for the dishes.
Okay, so we'll start out with the lemon butter sauce. We're gonna start out with some white wine, some fresh thyme, bay leaves.
And I'm sorry, some butter?
There's gonna be a little butter in there. Hope you don't mind.
More butter the better.
Yeah. Then we're gonna add just a tiny bit of garlic to that one too.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add some white wine and some lemon juice. Reduce that down, and then I'm gonna pickling spice. I'm also gonna add pickling spice to that, and then reduce that down. Then I'm gonna add some cream to it. Reduce that down to stabilize it, and then we'll stir in some butter, and that'll be our lemon butter sauce. And then, actually, at the end, I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of lemon zest as well to give it a little. Brighten up the flavor just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, so we're going to get reducing first because we have to reduce it a few times.
Yep.
And then, what do you have the chicken marinating in? I see mustard.
Yeah, there's this marinade's going to be some canola oil, some white wine, lemon juice, whole grain mustard, plenty of garlic in that marinade.
And the
salt,
21 cloves.
pepper, and the 21 cloves. That's more than 21 there, but who's counting, right?
Be still my heart.
Yeah.
I love it. So, and it looks great. And then, how long do you marinate the chicken for?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours is good. You can go a little longer, but because of all the acid in this marinade, that you have the white wine and the lemon juice, you don't want to leave it in too long because it'll start to cook it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get cooking, chef.
Right, let's do
I always
it.
have to call the executive chefs. And I am a big Marriott fan. I travel a lot for a bunch of different jobs, and the food at all of them is great. And now I really have to come try yours. So.
Well, thank you for your loyalty.
Besides right here. Okay, what do we start with the sauce?
Okay, so let's, I have my pan kind of somewhat hot here. Where are we?
Okay.
We got to get to know your stove.
Top one.
There we are.
There you go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do first is, normally I would add some shallots to this first and sweat the shallots a little bit. In this case, I'm just going to go straight white wine because I want to. We're gonna expedite the process just a little bit.
Okay, you didn't leave me any to drink. Shame on you.
Well, there's plenty more where that came from.
And then, what herbs did you add?
So I'm adding a lot of fresh thyme here.
Okay.
And some bay leaves, and there's 1 sprig of rosemary in there.
Okay.
Then I'm going to add some pickling spice to that as well.
So where does one get pickling spices? Just at the store?
Yeah,
or
just
it
at the
says
grocery.
pickling spices?
Pickling
I don't
spices,
pickle a
all it
lot,
is,
so.
Yeah, it's not many people use pickling spice this sauce is really called a beurre blanc, but one of my old cooks taught me that one, and
I love it.
I kind of ran with it. I said, that's awesome. I'm going with it, and I'm going to use it. So
see, and I always tell people, try things at home, especially if you're at home, because you have lots of testers around, and if it's not great, but 9 times out of 10, things you throw together are good. So I'm sure probably 10 times out of 10 with you.
I have a pretty good track record.
So that just boils a little bit.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, where'd my lemon juice? Can you hand me that lemon juice, por favor?
And I fresh squeezed. I'm sorry to my sister. She does not fresh squeeze her lemon juice when she cooks, and it drives me bonkers.
Well, I'll say this: the stuff you get in the store, the concentrated lemon juice, not so much. It's not.
Yeah.
It's the same as, you know, what the worst abomination in the world is the chopped garlic that you can buy in the grocery store.
Oh well, you know.
Oh, get that out of here. Yeah, it's. I mean, that
do
stuff
use
is.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Boy, don't I feel like it.
No, I use it on occasion.
No, but let me. There's a couple things that I like to teach people. That's one of them. Get away from that pre-cut garlic. You'll have a much better result using fresh garlic. Much better.
Well, and you get all your fruits and veggies at the farmer's market. We love the Torrance Farmer's Market here, and I do know that garlic. So what did you do to this garlic? Did you just roast it down?
Yeah, just all it is garlic cloves. That put them in some olive oil and a little salt and pepper. Cover it with foil in a pan and into a 400-degree oven for, it took 20 minutes.
Okay, and you leave them in their packaging?
No, I don't for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, there's different ways to do roasted garlic. For what I'm doing here, I want all the paper removed from the garlic.
Okay.
Prior to roasting
I call it
them.
packaging.
Yeah.
He's a little more technical.
I know
paper.
what you meant. Here's something that I also like to teach people. I have two different types of bay leaves in here.
Yeah,
I have
noticed that.
dried bay leaves that come in the pickling spice, and I always use fresh bay leaves. It's very, very important, because if you're using just dried bay leaves, you're not getting anywhere near the essence of what bay leaves are supposed to do to food. Fresh bay leaves really add a very distinctive, beautiful flavor to things, especially like if you're making a bechamel, something like that.
Which I would have you do, sure.
Right. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So that's something I like to teach people. Little small things to make a big difference in your cooking really matter.
Yeah.
And it's the little things. Another one of my big things is I brought this just to show people this iodized table salt.
Yes.
It's wonderful for putting on the floor when the floor is slippery.
Oh my word!
And
you're
that's about
so
all it's
funny.
good for.
I was like,
okay?
no one uses that anymore.
Yeah, but you would not believe how
Yeah.
many people I see using this salt in restaurant
You
kitchens.
heard
I go
it
in there. Yeah, use kosher salt or sea salt. It's so much
Well,
better.
now like the Himalayan pink salt has a lot of great minerals for you.
Any of those things are so much better.
Is that pan hot enough? I know it's red underneath.
Yeah, we're good
Okay.
now. Okay.
So
I'm gonna hit this with a little olive oil,
okay.
and then we're
All
gonna-
chefs come with, I call it the ketchup bottle.
Little squeeze
with
bottles,
all
yeah.
with the squeeze bottle. Ooh. Yeah.
So we are cooking. Skin side down.
Okay.
So this chicken is Jidori chicken, okay? This is locally raised by a Japanese farmer in Santa Monica.
Wow.
Really, absolutely fantastic chicken. I kind of call it the Kobe beef of chicken. He feeds
Okay.
it a very special diet. It's got a very rich, robust flavor that he's, especially
Anytime.
designed the diet for the chickens to eat them, to give them this just outstanding flavor profile.
Well, and you do chicken with the skin on. I know people are.
Depends on what I'm doing.
Okay.
Matter of fact, sometimes I'll use chicken thighs, and when I do the thighs, I'm normally doing skin off.
Okay.
I'll do a breast skin. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing. It really does.
But I know the skin really is the best part. I hate to say it.
It is.
All right, so our sauce is going.
Okay, so this sauce
stir.
is getting pretty close. You can see how it's reducing down. I'm going to let it go until there's maybe a quarter cup of liquid left.
Okay.
Then I'm going to add some heavy cream to that and reduce that down. Now the heavy cream, a lot of people, when they're making a butter sauce, they don't use cream, because a lot of cookbooks or lessons, things they teach you in culinary school, a lot of times they don't teach you to use cream. They just tell you to stir in butter little by little, cold butter. But the cream really helps to stabilize the sauce and keep it from breaking.
Okay.
Especially when you're holding the sauce for any extended period of time, for a couple hours or something.
Yeah, like you would do at a restaurant.
Exactly.
You did it all night.
Yep.
Okay.
Like this is a sauce that you don't make to order. You make this at the beginning, sometimes maybe in the middle of meal service, but you make it and then you use it.
Yeah.
to
Well, and I
order.
love that the restaurant, one of the restaurants at the Marriott in Torrance is called 21 Square.
Right.
Because Torrance is 21 square miles.
It's very, it makes a lot of sense, and we're all about supporting local business and using any local product that we can find. That's one of the reasons that Jadori Chicken comes in. You know, I try and use any product from Torrance as locally as possible. We have a great relationship with Absolution Brewery.
Of course, the Torrance Farmers Market we love for all our fruits and veggies and more, much more.
I'm a big fan of the Smog City Brewery. Some of their things as well. Obviously, the farmers markets are
they're great.
so very convenient. And
so, question while the chicken's cooking: how do you come up with your recipes and your menu? Menus.
Yeah, I do it. Depends on what I'm feeling, you know what I mean? And I go in, and I try and cook to the spirit of the seasons as well. I know here in Southern California, we really
There's
don't.
one season, sun.
Yeah, right. We don't have. Can I?
Here, I was going to say, you want me to put
can
this
you
in the oven?
Put that in the oven for me. Be careful.
I will be careful. All right,
yes.
well, this will go in an oven, and what's the temperature?
350.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll put that in there for maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to reduce that and add some cream. And good time to take a quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, the rest of our fabulous menu: mashed potatoes, broccolini, butternut squash. What's not to love? Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking. Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I'm with Executive Chef of the Torrance Marriott, Walter Rowin, and we added the cream during the break to our sauce because there's lots of reducing going on.
Right.
Chicken's in the oven. It smells so good.
Thank you very much.
Now, our side dishes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get the mashed potatoes going and the broccolini and the butternut squash. So these potatoes are already cooked off. These are already steamed. Otherwise, we'll be here all day doing that. So.
And you use red potatoes.
I use red potatoes for these. Yeah.
Red potatoes.
You can use any type you want, really. And for this, I'm doing red potatoes. It just gives the dish a little color at the end. So I'm going to just cut these in half or smaller.
I was going to say a couple of them are bigger, but yeah.
Yep.
And I like mashed potatoes with the skin on.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
Rustic.
Yep.
It's
anything
yummy.
Rustic is
A-okay.
Yeah, good for me.
So is this dish one of the most popular at 21 Square?
It's new. It's only been on the menu for, I don't know, maybe a month, but it is selling a lot. So
good.
We have some extremely popular dishes there. Our cauliflower and our charred cauliflower and our Brussels sprouts both.
Oh, okay. I'm coming in just for those.
Yeah, those are super popular. But yeah, this one's moving.
Good. And you just put a little.
I put a little half and half in here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add a little butter.
Give them all
and just
butter. I love it. And you are using a very sturdy whisk. I remember the old-fashioned mashers. That was my job.
You have,
get all my aggression out mashing potatoes.
There's different whisks and whips of different, strengths. Some are better for, whipping a cream or making meringues or something like that. No, not many people do that by hand.
I was going to say, wow. Well, he is an executive chef.
In a pinch, I guess it'll work. But but these are a little more sturdy and they're good for the mashed potatoes. Half
and half for the mashed potatoes and heavy cream for the sauce.
Yep.
So there's a difference. I don't get it, but I know you get it.
It's fat content basically. Is all it is. The half and half is a mix between heavy cream and whole milk. So you have less fat content there.
Yeah.
So depending on what you want to do, what you want your outcome to be.
Look at those come together nicely. And they're not the kind, you don't get out the hand mixer and make them like grandmother used to for the holidays.
I would if I could. If I had one here, I'd probably break out the hand mixer, to be honest with you. But
here, you want me to mash for a while? Do we add?
That's okay.
Okay.
It'll come together in a minute here.
You're mashing away?
Yep.
We're not using all this butter, are we?
No.
Shoot, I was hoping you would say yes.
Then yes.
Yes. Oh, and the garlic. So the broccolini, did you just steam that down?
Yeah, well, that I blanched in salt water.
Okay.
Again, whenever you're blanching vegetables, it's important to make sure you put some salt in the water because your end result will taste better.
Okay, and blanching hot and then in ice bath.
Boiling
cold.
water, always make sure to blanch in boiling salted water and then into an ice bath. And here's another thing.
I love it. That's why you're here.
A lot of people don't know this or don't follow this, but once you put your vegetables into the ice bath, you don't want to leave them in there for half an hour or anything like that because a lot of people will put them in the ice, walk away from it. The water is going to start leaching the flavor out of the vegetables.
Okay.
So leave it in there long enough to chill the thing through, and then pull them because otherwise all the flavor ends up in the water.
Yeah, no, we want the flavor in the broccolini. I love broccolini. I love broccoli too, but broccolini is kind of, it's special to me.
It is.
I grew up with a lot of it. And then the butternut squash, which, by the way, you said it wasn't done.
Well, it's
But
roasted,
it's so
but we're going to saute it again at final step. So these mashed potatoes here are still kind of
I like
chunky
it that way.
and rustic, and they have the skin on,
Yum.
but they're delicious. So we'll call that
We'll call that good.
finished for now.
Okay, I'm just going to put the mashed potatoes by me.
And then this is
Sauce.
getting close to being where we're going to add the butter.
Okay.
So whenever you're making a butter sauce like this, an important step is making sure that your butter is cut into pieces about this, maybe 2-inch by 2-inch pieces.
Okay.
And you have to stir it in slowly, one piece at a time. If you try and just dump it all in and stir it, your sauce is going to end up breaking.
Okay.
It has to become an emulsion. It has to be all tied in together. So the step of adding the heavy cream is to help facilitate that. If you just dump it all in at once, you're going to end up with a bad product.
We don't want
Nobody wants
no
that.
bad products here on Community Cooking.
That's right.
Well, while that's still reducing, can we start on either the broccolini or the butternut squash?
Absolutely. Let's do it. So let me give this a
This
quick
is
little
so
rinse
good,
over
just
here.
roasted. Oh my word! I'm eating the props. Don't tell. I love any sort of squash. All right, which one do you want to start with?
Let's do the broccolini first.
Okay, because I'm holding on to the squash.
Yep. And
So of course you'd ask for the broccoli.
I have another stash of clean saute pans down
I
here.
love it.
And we'll get that fired up again. That's the right one.
All right, I'm going to put all your ingredients right in front of you. So for the broccolini, you already blanched it.
Yep.
Now we're going to put it in a hot saute pan.
Correct.
And what are you going to add to it?
Just a little bit. I'm going to start out with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
We're going to give it a little garlic. Let the garlic toast just a little bit. Salt and pepper, and that'll be it.
Perfect.
So
And then what do we do with the butternut squash?
we'll do the same thing with the butternut squash. It's just
Perfect. Easy. And then
Yeah.
you have some,
this is lemon zest right here.
okay.
And we're going to add that to the cream sauce at the very end. That's just going to help heighten that lemon flavor. With the lemon juice in there, it does have a lemon flavor, but it's a little bit tart. This has some sweetness to it, so it really helps to balance it out. It gives it a really nice, bright, lemony flavor, but it's a little more, it just has a little sweetness to it. It's not so
So you
tart.
said lemon zest, but it almost looks saucy.
It's lemon mixed with sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, lemon zest
Because I
mixed
was
with
like,
sugar.
it doesn't look like just the zest
Yeah,
off
no,
the...
it's got some
grater.
sugar in there.
Okay.
That's why it helps give it that just a little sweet. It balances it.
Okay. Perfect. So
it's very nice.
broccolini with oil.
Okay, so we're just about ready here on this pan.
And you want a hot pan and then add the oil.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause I've
Not
done the
screaming hot because I'm using extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
If the pan's too hot, I'll put it in. It starts smoking because olive oil doesn't have a very high smoking point.
I've done that many times.
Yeah, and you don't want to blast your extra virgin olive oil. It's really not. Normally when I'm cooking, I'll use like a blend so it has a higher smoking point. Extra virgin's better for finishing things like finishing
Good
a
to know.
salad or things like that. But it's totally fine for what we're doing right here. So I'm not going to let that pan get too
Smoking
crazy hot. Yep. And I'll add a little garlic to it. Pardon my reach.
That is some garlic. It's all about garlic today. You just have to make sure everyone has the same thing if you have this much garlic.
I want people to walk in this room after we're done and go like, someone was cooking garlic.
Someone was cooking garlic.
A lot of garlic.
21 cloves plus, to be exact. So,
Since we're doing tours of it, it'll be 42 clove. It'll be a 42 clove day.
and garlic's very healthy for you, but yeah, I'm glad I'm staying alone this fine evening. It's a lot of garlic. So just oil and garlic.
Yep, just
barely
oil and
saute
garlic.
it.
Now what I'm just gonna let that garlic go until it just loses its that raw.
Okay.
You'll smell it. You'll smell it start to change a little bit. And as soon as I get that, I'll add some broccolini to it.
Simple.
Very
actually.
simple. At this point, it's all very simple. As a matter of fact, cooking in general is not complicated. It's just following all the steps. You know,
Well,
doing.
and there's a little prep sometimes. See, I love the prep. I should have been, a sous chef, or it's not even the right, or prep chef, and just because I love chopping and dicing and with a glass of wine in my hands. And I
Me
love
too.
it. A lot of chefs do a salt and pepper mixture.
Yep. I do this a lot of, depending on what I'm doing. I like to have them separate so I have a little more control
Yeah.
over it for the purpose of convenience and just
You put them together.
expediting things. I find that when you're doing large volumes of banquet cooking, that's especially when it comes in handy to mix them together,
Oh, yeah.
because when you're cooking for 500 people, you want to minimize your steps. You know what I mean? So it's one step instead of two.
500? Sure, I cook for 5. Oh, and our sauce is really reducing now.
So here we are. We're just about ready on this. You can
Okay.
see how the cream's thickening up now.
Yeah.
That's where we want it. Okay, so we're going to start stirring in our butter
Remember, 1 cube at a time.
little by little.
Don't-
If you want to
don't-
cheat and you're in a hurry, you can use 2, but don't do
Yeah.
more than that, because otherwise you're going to end up with garbage at the end of the day.
We don't want that. We want a good sauce.
Yeah, your dinner guests will come over and say, like, you added all your butter at once, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. My dinner guests would never be served this. But you're invited over to cook for us. Or we'll just come to the restaurant. Makes it even easier.
I remember that one time that we went to Trisha's house and she added all the butter at once.
She added all the butter at the same time. Shame on her. Yeah, I still can't do the flipping thing.
Practice with a piece of bread.
Oh, that's a little
Yeah.
less messy.
Yeah, that's how you get the motion down.
I love
Or
it.
some rice.
Yeah, rice is too messy.
That's when I first started cooking. That one of the cooks on the line, when I was just working a dishwasher. But I was working hard over there, and the line cooks kind of took it on themselves to start teaching me things. And one of the cooks sent me home with a saute pan and a piece of bread. He said, "Flip that,
Oh, I love
and
it.
keep flipping it, and keep flipping it."
I'll practice with bread. That's easier. No, I tried. My brother, man, he's been able to do it since the first time he tried.
Yeah,
But, oh my gosh, that looks so good.
it will be,
So you just add the butter,
Yep.
and then that,
little by little.
little by little, and as he flips the broccolini, and so we're going to do the same thing with the squash as well. And how long for the broccolini? Not very long.
No,
Couple
not very
minutes,
long.
Because it's already cooked.
Yep, it's already cooked, so we're just heating it up really and adding a little bit of that garlic flavor to it. I mean,
More garlic.
because it has a little water in it, that steam is really going to heat it up very quickly as well.
Love it.
So-
Yeah, and like you said, who doesn't love garlic?
So we're good on this
Okay.
right there. That's ready to go. Turn that off for a minute because it's blazing hot.
Add more butter. I wish I had a stovetop over here I could stir for you. That was always my thing growing up. I stirred for my mother, always.
We're getting close to done on that too.
Okay.
So I'm going to find something to put this broccolini in. Matter of fact, I can just put it right
I
back
was going to say put it right on
in
top.
there
Perfect.
and get rid of this other broccoli.
Perfect. Yum.
And we'll come back and use this.
Use the same pan. Why
Use the
not?
same pan.
It's already warm.
Yep.
Look at how pretty that is. And it smells so
So-
good. And tongs. Tongs are the best thing to cook everything with.
I would be
toss my
lost without tongs, I'll
I
tell you
would
that.
toss my salads with tongs, everything. Okay. And then we want to heat up more oil for the butternut squash.
Yep. You know what? Let's do this.
We're going to use butter.
We're going to
Why
put a
would we?
little bit, we're going to do a little half and half here. We're going to do a little
Okay.
butter.
That's my new thing. A lot of people are doing a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah, why not?
Oh.
You know why? Because we can.
Because we can. And so what did you, that butternut squash, you cubed it.
Yep, cubed it, roasted it with a little butter, salt, and pepper. And if you want, you can add a little rosemary to that. That would be absolutely delicious. And a little honey, a little bit of honey.
Honey.
Yep. That makes it,
Oh.
it makes it nice. You like.
Very, very nice. Oh,
Okay,
man.
so we're good on this sauce right here. This is ready to go. So all I'm going to do now is add some of this lemon zest.
That has a little sugar in it.
A little sugar in there.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure that I just,
You can smell it.
oh yeah.
The
Polishes it off perfectly.
lemon flavor is just gorgeous.
Yeah, oh my word. And then do you drain off the spices?
Then I'm going to strain this.
Strain
yeah.
them?
And then, yep. I'm going to strain it, then we're going to end up with a beautiful sauce. It'll go in our chicken that is probably
Probably close to done.
close to done at this point.
While the sauce is just finishing a little bit, everything else is warm. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have it all plated up. And, you know, Walter, my favorite part is tasting.
Mine too.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Community Cooking.
Planning a dinner party? Figure out how much food you need with the Guestimator at SaveTheFood.com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. Okay, this is too pretty to eat, Chef.
Well, thank you very much.
Not.
But you have to eat it.
I will. Okay, I'm going to try. And by the way, we strained the sauce.
We did. We
during
strained.
break.
Yeah. Got all the herbs out of there.
You plated it up, and you added well more than 24 pieces of garlic. 21,
Yep.
I should say.
Yeah, 21 is the number we're going for. But like I said, who's counting? You know what I mean?
Okay, the garlic is not super strong because how you roasted it.
Right. It's
Oh, I eat that all day.
yeah. It's a very subtle, warm flavor. It's
And
beautiful.
the little bit of lemon in there
You
just
get
makes
the-
that whole thing pop. But it's light. It's not like a big, heavy, creamy dress or
Yeah.
sauce.
The lemon is there to kind of complement that, all that roasted garlic and the butteriness of the sauce. And like I said, it just balances everything out and makes it a very nice dish.
And the broccolini is still crisp, so that adds to, you know, the mashed potatoes. It's kind of a balancing act. Oh my gosh. And the butternut squash, are you kidding me? It's sweet, yet it's still squash.
Yeah.
Oh my word. I'm most surprised about the garlic. I'm going to have some with a mashed potato.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's not, because I was like, I love garlic, but sometimes you eat it and you're like, ugh, too
You
much
have enough
garlic.
there to have it with everything you want. You want it with broccolini? Fine. However you like it.
You can come back anytime.
All right. I'll be back in
Thank
a
you
half an
so
hour.
much for coming in. Your meal was great and huge, just how I like it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Chef Walter Rowin and myself, thank you for watching, and our entire crew, of course. And remember, we really have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next on Community Cooking.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCityCable and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.